everyone, this is Haxaclappa, and today we'll be looking at the best planes from Tier 2 to Tier 6. Oh, and I just made the transition from iMovie to Premiere Pro. Please expect some higher quality and more professional content out soon. Now, let's take a look at the best Tier 2 plane, the French D520. So, what makes this plane good? Well, this plane is a pretty decent all-rounder, and it actually turns quite nicely. But what is pretty crazy about it are the 7.5mm machine guns. These machine guns, while they're only 7.5mm, they do a ton of damage. While you can't really expect one-shots, these things do shred. And you get 40-50 rounds with these guns. And it only gets better. These guns have a 7-second reload. Well, that's max. So when you lose all your ammo, you won't be out of a fight for that long. Furthermore, this has a 20mm cannon, which probably will be out of ammo most of the time, but it does help in giving your plane an extra kick. Another good aspect of this plane is its turn rate. This thing turns 43 degrees per second, which is certainly above average for its tier. So this plane has an amazing armament and pretty great flight performance. It really doesn't lack anything. And if anything, this tier is so absolutely brain dead, you don't ever really need that much flight performance to begin with. So this thing makes a really good grinder or a clubber because most people at this tier know absolutely nothing when it comes to playing this game. So you could use this already pretty overpowered plane to just club even more effectively. Something to note is that you only get 30 coins per kill, but still, it's pretty good. And as you see, this thing can even sort of compete with Spitfires. Speaking of Spitfires, the next plane in our list is a Spitfire. This is the Spitfire Mark VC, a level 5 premium in the British tech tree. Here are the stats on screen. What you need to notice is that this thing costs 700 Robux. It has 40 degrees per second of turn at 280 kilometers an hour, and it has 4 20mm cannons. Now that last one is what's actually important. These 20mm shred. The only contemporary at this tier is the American F4U1C, but this thing destroys that in turn rate. This guy's in the F4U1D, that's pretty sad, but you can see the difference in turn rate. So, for the small cost of 700 Robux, you can basically outturn everyone and outgun everyone at this tier. And so, as I said in my premiums video, this is the only blatantly overpowered premium there is in this game. So all of these stats make the Mark 5C very efficient for grinding. As you can see, I can just hose people down with this 20mm. And the F4U1C might have 1400 rounds, but really 700 is more than enough, and as you see, this thing has quite decent accuracy. So yeah, when I play this plane, I consistently got 20 kill games. And when each kill is worth 50 coins, with a premium account of course, you can only imagine how effective this is at printing those coins that you want. So yeah, go buy this plane. It's not even the most expensive premium. I have to find something to shill. Okay, let's move on to the next plane. Next up, we have the Russian LA-9 for the best plane in Tier 4. This plane is not the best turning plane at the tier, but it is no slouch. In fact, it is better than most of the planes at the tier. It's just worse than the Bearcat, the N1K, and the Ki 84. However, relative to those planes, this plane makes up for its detriments in firepower. This thing has 4 23mm cannons, and you have 450 rounds. This plane has one tapping capability that is basically equivalent to the Ki-84, but you have much more ammo. With that, this plane will be able to outturn most other things like that poor Hornet I just killed, and so you can also turn fight. These 4 cannons also make it very effective in head-ons, and you can see the Hornet just stands no chance. These 4 cannons will just shred anything it touches. What this makes for is a pretty smooth experience where you can just beam people like that. Overall, great firepower, basically best in class, along with some very decent flight performance makes for a very smooth experience. You will be able to club lobbies in this. This was like my second game in this plane, and I got a nice 20 kills, as you'll see right here. Coming in at the best plane in Tier 5, we got the Comet. Contrary to the other planes on this list, the Comet has an absolutely shitty gun. And that's not in terms of damage. This gun hits extremely hard. But the muzzle velocity is absolute dog shit. It is 500 meters in second. People can literally dodge this gun. They can literally react to you shooting this gun. And what I found about this gun is I can only hit it consistently within half a kilometer, which really sucks. But why is it the best plane at this tier though? Well, despite being extremely hard to use, this plane has very, very good flight performance. The turn rate is around 36 degrees per second, and it has a 0.5 thrust to weight ratio. This means that this thing both turns very well and retains its energy very well. Thus, you can outperform all planes at tier 5 pretty easily, but when it actually comes to getting the shot to kill them, you're going to have a massive pain in the ass, and you're going to be sitting on people's 6s for quite a long time before you actually kill them. But when it comes to actually just killing people, you can probably do it. It will be a little bit of a pain, but in the end, this thing is so powerful in all other aspects that it greatly overcompensates for this plane. So yeah, it's not an easy plane to play, but it is surely busted. You're going to have to go through the very steep learning curve, but after that, every kill in this plane will be extremely satisfying. Speaking of satisfying, do you know what else is satisfying? Clubbing the crap out of F-104Cs in the MiG-19P, which is what I think is the best plane of the tier. Now, people will probably say that the F-104C is basically the best in this tier, but I disagree. And that is because the F-104C lacks the versatility that the MiG-19 at least sort of has. The F-104C has much higher top speed, but that comes at a cost. It has really bad turn rate. It's like the worst in the game right now. And the thing's TWR is more or less the same as the MiG-19, so the energy retention is extremely similar. Meanwhile, the MiG-19 retains really well and turns pretty well at high speed, allowing you to sort of turn fight at higher altitudes, in addition to running energy traps on other planes. The MiG-19 is also armed with two 30mm NR30 cannons. These cannons might not be as consistent as the Vulcan, but they hit extremely hard, as you can see in the clips that I have shown. All of these factors make the MiG-19 an extremely potent plane because it has an extremely strong aspect, while it does not have any crippling downsides like the F-104C. This allows you to outperform all planes in at least one way, and you don't exactly have a counter, because you will always have a leg up against all other planes. While the MiG-19 truly shines while it's played a little more conservatively, the plane also allows players like me who like to play aggressively to also club lobbies. This is something that the F-104C cannot offer, as its turn rate is absolutely abysmal. So yeah, MiG-19, jack of all trades, master of energy fighting. So yeah, there is not that much left to say. I have a full review up of this plane on my YouTube channel, so if you want to learn a little more, you can watch that. With that, please enjoy these last few kills. And most importantly, thank you for watching this video.